That's correct. The hostage protests are now beginning, and it is the first Saturday protest since the announcement that a deal is about to happen. True, it's not finalized yet, but it seems as if we're going towards an agreement. And while the families, there is a happiness to see a deal, and there's happiness to see hostages coming back, there's also great anger. Why so? Out of the 20 leaving hostages, only 10 will be coming back. 10 will remain in Gaza. Who knows for how long? Even so, the first 8 hostages will be coming back on day 1 of the ceasefire. Another 2 will still have some kind of a horizon. They know that they will be released on day 50. What happens after that? What about the other 10 living hostages? And the families are saying that if you leave 10 living hostages in Gaza after this agreement for who knows how long, no one really knows what will happen with negotiations after that. You're basically judging them to die. This is what the families are saying. And the main request from the Israeli government is, yes, to make even more concessions, to make sure that all the hostages return now, especially the living hostages. Leaving 10 hostages behind is sort of a death sentence, say the families. And there's another issue. Who decides which are the 10 living hostages that come out and who are the 10 that will be left behind? It is true that there are certain criteria as to what is defined as a humanitarian case or non-humanitarian case among the hostages. The families are saying that after more than 630 days in captivity in terrible conditions, all of the hostages should be defined as humanitarian cases. All of them should be brought back as soon as possible. And if you're leaving 10 hostages behind, you're basically leaving them in Gaza to die. This is what the families are saying, and we can expect the protests, which are now beginning at this time, to be very emotional. It is true that finally there is happiness, and the fact that half of the living hostages will be coming back in the coming weeks, of course, that is a source of happiness, but for the families, it is not enough. We're still not hearing any official comment. It is still the Jewish Sabbath here in Israel. The Jewish Sabbath will end roughly in an hour and a half, 2 hours. Then we can expect to hear some official comments regarding the fact that Hamas basically said yes, and the agreement seems to be going forward. We will perhaps hear from government spokespeople, maybe from ministers. Maybe even more so, it is perhaps more logical to expect the first comments actually to come from those who oppose the agreement, mainly the far-right ministers, Itamar Ben-Gvir and Bezalel Smotrich, all along the way. They said that they oppose any kind of deal that will not crush Hamas completely. This is what they're saying. Itamar Ben-Gvir said it is time to crush them down, and this deal is not doing it.